Chapter 6 is all about similar polygons, which is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And when we're dealing with similar polygons, you have to be able to set up proportions. You need to be able to solve the proportions. So that's why the whole beginning of Chapter 6 was all about, can you deal with proportions? So we've got a few more rules that we have to cover with proportions that are going to apply. Because when we continue on in this chapter, you may set up a proportion differently than your neighbor, and you both will be correct. Okay, so you need to be able to realize that there are different versions of true proportion. So for the first one, we have what's called the reciprocal property. And what the reciprocal property states is, if you have the proportion A over B equals C over D, then it remains true, just in the white blank space there.
Oh, okay.
Then it stays true that the reciprocal of both of those ratios will also be true. So if A over B equals C over D, then B over A equals D over C. So we pause from notes for a second. Is 1/2 equal to 3 over 6? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. What are my cross products? What's the cross product here? Cross product here is 6. So it's a true proportion. If I take the reciprocal of 1/2, I get 2 over 1, and the reciprocal of 3 over 6 is 6 over 3. Does it still stay true? Yeah. My cross products still stay 6, right? Mm-hmm. So you can take the reciprocals of your ratios. As long as you do the reciprocal of both, it will stay true. So that's one of our properties. The next one states if you interchange the means of a proportion, then you form another true proportion. So then off into the blank space. If we have the same proportion, A over B equals C over D, back when we were talking geometric means, the bottom of the first, the top of the second are considered your means. Do I care that you memorize that? No. Just know that if you flip-flop these means, your proportion still is going to stay true. So if A over B equals C over D, then A over C is equal to B over D. If I go back over here and I interchange these two numbers and move the 3 down and move the 2 up, does my proportion still stay the same? Yeah, my cross product still stays 6. Okay? And then the last one gets a little bit more challenging. In a proportion, if you add the value of each ratio's denominator to its numerator, then you form another true proportion. So if we have the same initial proportion of A over B equals C over D, then what this property says, if you add whatever is in your denominator to the numerator on both sides, your proportion will still stay true. Okay, so if we go back to this example, so if I work off of this, if I add my denominator to my numerator on both sides, 1 plus 3 is 4 4/3, equaling 2 plus 6 is 8 over 6. Is that still true? Yeah, 6 times 4 is 24, 8 times 3 is 24. Okay? So on your homework, you're going to have problems very similar to these next sets. So all you are going to need to be able to see is what's happening from one proportion to the next to be able to fill in the blanks. So if I'm given the proportion 8 over x equals 3 over y, and I turn my ratio into 8 over 3, what's the next one going to be?
X over Y.
Yeah, x over y. Good. This is what happened. They are switching, interchanging the means. Or, the way I think about it, is they're putting 8 over 3, so then x will go over y. Okay, next one, what's going to go into the blank? If 8 over x and 3 over y.
8 over x.
Well, we did x over 8, so the next one's going to be y over 3. Good. And the last one of this set, they're adding the denominator to the numerator. So what's the second fraction going to be?
3 plus y.
Good. 3 plus y over y. So that's very similar to problems, what is it, 10, 11, 12, 13, or something like that on your homework? Okay. All right, so now let's throw in our geometric shapes. If you remember problems 19, 20, and 21 from your homework last night, instead of a fraction, they gave you a ratio with a colon, and they had the word is instead of an equal sign, and then they had 3 to 5 or 4 to 7 or whatever the heck it was. Now in section 6.2, they're going to give us the proportion. They're going to give us a diagram, and all we have to then do is plug the information in and solve for the unknown variable or the unknown length. So if they're telling me that MN is proportional with RS, in the diagram, what is the physical length of MN? 8. Yeah, and RS is 10, is equal to NP, which is 4, which is proportional to x. Can we cross multiply that? Hopefully. I get 8x equals 40, so x is equal to 5. And it's only asking us to solve for x, so we're done. Nate?
On the homework you gave us, you can't cross multiply, you can't divide.
You can get decimals, that's okay.
Okay.
Next one, we got BD is proportional to DA. So BD, oh, this is a tough one. Do we know the length of BD?
No.
No, BD is right here. I know that B to A is X. So can someone give me an expression that would represent the length of BD? Let's just make something up. Let's pretend that BA is 20. What would be BD? 17. Let's pretend BA is 10. What would be BD?
5.
No. 10? 7. So we're just taking away the 3. So if BA is X, then BD would be X minus 3, right? I don't know if it's 21.
Wait, I thought that was like mid-7.
Nope, these aren't midpoints. That would be if it's a midpoint. They're not midpoints. So X minus 3 goes in my numerator. DA is 3. BE is 18. EC is 6. How do we cross multiply that?
Minus 3 plus 6 equals.
Times 6. So 6x
yeah.
minus 18 when you multiply that out. 18 times 3 is what, 54? So now we're going to add 18 to both sides, which gets you 72. So x is equal to 12. But what's it asking for? BA and BD. So what's the length of BA if BA is x?
15.
12. Thank you. Which makes BC x minus, or BD, sorry, x minus 3. So 12 minus 3 is 9. X is what we just solved for, and we just x is 12, right? Renee? Yeah. Okay, so flip out of the back. I want you to try the next 4 on your own. See if you can do it. Work on number 1. I'll give you a head start, and then I'll put my solution up there for you to check. Why are we not doing this right now?
So what is the x?
Yep, if we don't know it, make it an X.
Would be that?
Nope, I would just put BC as X, because we don't know it. Well, X is BC, because we don't know that. So you get it, check up at my answer, and move on to the next.
So that's from 8 by 18.
Yep.
Wait, how can you tell what AC is? Would it be 12 too?
Nope, make that X.
You
BC
mean that
will,
X?
yep,
Yeah, see, right.
you don't know that.
That's right there, if you don't know it. Oh, sorry, you're not one. That looks good. For ED.
So when you find X, it's
AE,
just, since you're putting X in for
BC, that is your BC line.
X will be
So
BC.
you're
Yep.
good, so ED is 15.
You're gonna show us how to do these.
15. Oh, I'm sorry.
We did those on Tuesday, those were on your homework
Yeah.
So I know
assignment.
Yeah, you're
how to
good.
do
You
this.
should,
Sorry,
yeah.
Russ. You stay following the you just said? Yeah. And then,
Is it 10?
Oops, 180. Yes, 10, so we're getting for the second one?
If you leave it just as X equals 10, are you gonna mark it? So
the 15? or
Probably
18?
not, because I'll give you an answer line, it says like BC equals blank. So if you put 10 in there, you should be able to get it.
Well then.
All right, I'm moving on to 3.
FD is 9
Be careful, FD.
is 12.
Mm-hmm. Because FD's whole length is 9 plus 3. Is that what you're asking, where this came from?
No.
Oh. Is that what the answer is? I don't know.
Is it 12? Yeah, I think so.
What is that? 9, 4, 144, yeah. Yes.
I got, it goes for
Wait a minute.
For which one?
a third.
It should be 12. So
Is
FD is not
No, you
9.
don't know it, so it's the X.
FD is 9 plus 3, 12. Over FE, which is 9.
Oh, I don't know
So
why.
it should be 12 over 9,
Yeah,
9 over
I
3.
understand.
Make sure you really pay attention to what is in the proportion itself.
I don't know why I thought that.
Now you have to be careful, once you get your answer, you have to add it to get to AC. Because it's asking for AC.
Wait a
There
minute,
you got it,
20?
Taylor.
Divided
Good,
by
Ben.
6. I get 3.3.
So X is that.
She says,
Okay.
We need to find, yeah. So we need to find
20 divided by
AC.
6 though?
So
Oh,
then,
so
No, 20 divided by 6, 3.33.
wait, would I do 3.3 times 5? Please,
20 times, what's 20 times 6?
Not times.
Add, why would it be times?
So it's segment, you're adding segments.
That's for the whole side. You just got AB, and this is
8.3.
So you should be getting your X to be 3 1/3, which represents AB, which means AC would be 8 1/3. Good. All right, we're going to skip the whole definition on scale drawing because we kind of talked about that last time. Let's just make sure we've got the answers for scale drawing taken care of. So for this one, which I had to update the example in our textbook, that was exactly like this. Their blueprint of their phone had a little antenna sticking out of it, and it had like the scale with the antenna. And we don't have phones like that have it. So I pulled out an iPhone blueprint. So here we have the length on the screen of the blueprint is 16.45 inches. The actual length of the screen is 4.7 inches. What is the scale of the blueprint? So how do we make a scale of a blueprint? If the scale is, don't write this, just read it, a ratio that describes how the dimensions in the drawing are related to the actual dimensions of the object. So I'm going to make sure when I make a ratio or a fraction, the actual will go into the denominator, and I'm going to use model in general. The model goes in the numerator. So in this case, my model is the blueprint. What is the length of the screen on the blueprint? 16.45. The actual length is 4.7. So now I would use my fancy calculator and divide those numbers to get what? 3.5?
Yeah.
So 3.5 to 1. So what does that mean? What are my units? So 3.5 or 3.5 inches to every 1 inch of the actual, so every 1 inch of screen on the actual screen is represented by 3.5 inches on the blueprint itself, right? Okay. So there we have a scale. Sometimes the math world does not like decimals in their fractions. What is 3.5 as an improper fraction? As an improper fraction. How do you turn mixed numbers into improper fractions?
Times it and add it.
So it would be 7 over 2. So for every 2 inches, it's 7 inches. Interesting. Huh? All right, and we're just going to do the A of the next one. We're not going to worry about the B. It's a little bit more complicated. Setting up a proportion, it says you buy a 3D scale model of the Reunion Tower in Dallas, Texas. The actual building is 560 feet tall. Your model is 10 inches tall, and the diameter of the dome on your scale is about 2.1 inches. So what would be the scale? My model is 10 inches. The actual is 560. So you put the model over the actual. And I'm going to equal that to... Where's the 2.1 going to go? On the top or the bottom?
No, top.
Top
Sorry.
over x. Can I reduce the fraction on the left to make my math a little bit easier? Not that it matters because you guys have calculators to do it. Yeah, you can take out the zeros, right? So what's 56 times 2.1?
117.6.
So 117.6 feet would be the actual height of the tower. Okay, good. So, those of you guys who did not